Matisse, where are you? There you are. Invite to speak. Awesome. There. Matisse should be here as well. Hi,
hey
Matisse. Thank you guys for joining.
Chris.
Hi, Omar. Hi, Omama. Hi, Chris. Hi, Catch Memories, Lightseeker. Hi, guys. Awesome to have you here. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna also type in the chat once again for some of the others that might be joining. So let me type in the chat. Everyone. So community call is starting. Feel free to join. There we go. Awesome. Cool. So that's that. So for this call, this is probably going to be on the shorter end. Hi, Martin Tail. Yeah, for this call, what we've been doing actually is, you probably guys know that AI is probably going to take over search as well, right? So there's actually pretty interesting stuff that's already happening with AI search. So Perplexity, Search GPT, Claude, and all of these big names, right? So there are talks on the streets that these guys are gonna go after Google and become the next search engines, right? So we've been reading up on this, and there's actually pretty interesting research already showing that there are some pointers to it showing that this is likely to happen. And that there are already some changes happening how Google essentially is trying to tackle that, and then how all of these AI giants are trying to go after search. Hi Abdullah, hi Aaron, thanks for joining. So this is the call for today. Gonna go through some of the cool research, what we find interesting. Hi Jim, and Matthias is also working on one interesting SEO project that he is going to probably share. So that's for the dessert. So let me perhaps start by sharing my screen. Let me see, choose blah, blah, blah. Share your screen. Next. This is some kind of new thingy I haven't seen. Wow, this is a new thing for Discord. Let me share entire screen. Okay, do you see my screen? All good? Matthias, can you confirm?
Yes.
Awesome.
I was reading the comment that Perplexity is powered by Bing Search. It was revealed recently.
Okay. So what I've put together is kind of quick summary of some of the interesting things that we found ourselves that specifically kind of revolves around AI search, right? So you probably guys know there's this highly authoritative search engine land. So this probably, well, yeah, most of the information that I'm going to present today, some quick facts and numbers, comes from here. So yeah, if you're not reading this, or if you, I don't know, have some interest in SEO and how it's going to evolve, and then some tricks and tips, then Search Engine Land is a pretty cool and highly authoritative source. Just as a disclaimer, this is probably most of the data and numbers that I'm going to present here is going to come from. So first thing, some of you probably know there's this massive research firm called Gartner, right? So Gartner, so let me type it, Gartner, like this. And these guys predict that by 2026, traditional search, namely Google search, is going to fall by astonishing 26%. So in just 2 years, they think that Google search traffic is going to fall by about 26%. I'm not sure about you, but for me it feels massive. Like 1/4 of current Google search is going to fall by 26%. It seems ridiculous. And they say that portion is going to move to LLMs, so namely Search GPT.
Can you zoom in a bit, please?
Yeah. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So Search GPT, Perplexity, Claude, and all of the other guys, right? So that's where they predict that this portion is going to move on to. And there's already waves happening in the market showing that this is likely to happen. And another interesting thing that these guys point out, that funny enough, a lot of people, consumers, Gen Z especially, is using TikTok for search. So TikTok is not only your kind of entertainment, whatever, brain rot platform, if you will. TikTok is making moves in search engine, if you will, industry, whatever you want to call it, as well, which is very interesting, especially for Gen Zs. But that's a kind of a hot take. But these guys say that, well, yeah, probably these 26% is going to move on to these big guys in the coming years. So what that means is that there is obviously this new kind of approach on how you can optimize to get into Search GPT, Perplexity, and Claude, right? So naturally people search on these search engines, if you will, right? AI search engines. Then there's the question, how do you optimize your content so that these guys show your content to your potential clients, users, whatever that is you want to achieve there, right? And that is, as of now, called the GEO. So let me type that down as well. So GEO, which stands for Generative Engine Optimization, right? So, and there's already interesting stuff on how you can take advantage of GEO, right? So initial kind of research shows that getting into summaries, so these kind of big, massive blog posts of summaries, reviews, and alternative sites, is a one strong way for your service, whatever you're trying to promote, to get recommended indirectly on Search GPT, Perplexity, and Claude. So what this means is getting into a highly authoritative summary, alternative sites, review sites is going to push you into these, right? And why is that? It turns out that these AI engines, they cannot obviously crawl every single website that's out there and provide answers. So what they do these shortcuts, right? And what these shortcuts are, these review sites, these summary sites, alternative sites, right? Since those sites already provide a good amount of information for them to use and kind of as a foundation information to give a certain query and answer, right? So all of these kind of top 10, I don't know, SaaS services for this specific need, right? Top 15 agencies for this, top 13 Chrome extensions, stuff like that, right? If you get into those, it's highly likely that you are going to be ranking, if you will, on Geo, right? But another thing is that these guys take their information from highly authoritative summaries and review sites. So G2 and stuff like that is the way to go, right? So you need to obviously kind of get into these super highly authoritative summaries, alternative sites. Another thing is that structured data is going to become even more important, right? So for these guys, AI search, to provide a highly kind of contextual and relevant answers, they need context, right? And how do they get context is through schemas, entity optimization, and semantic headings. These are kind of the key things for you to kind of structure your data and flood it into AI search, so it's structured in a way that you give enough context behind the initial content that you want to essentially rank on AI search for it to understand it and push it as answers to certain queries on AI search. So schemas, in schemas you put information about people, so people, essentially authors of the post, whatever that is, like author of the website, the author of the content that's being displayed, location, and like topics about essentially the topic of the website, right? Literally like writing, this website is talking about this and that because of this and that. Author of this website is this and this, he or she, written in this location, right? So that is kind of the schema that you provide, kind of foundational information as a structure to give more context to the AI search, right? And entity optimization, what this means is pretty much like So if on SEO you target specific keywords, then entity optimization is kind of a level above that, right? There's, say, I don't know, you target keyword, say best shoes, best basketball shoes, I don't know, best basketball shoes, right? That's a highly specific keyword, but a level above that would be, say, personal growth, whatever, right? Personal growth or fitness, like these super general high level keywords. And these give more context to search, AI search, about what is it that you're trying to rank for and what is your website about, right? So optimizing for these kind of high level keywords is going to help for your entity optimization that later on helps you on AI search, right? And for funny thing is that for entity optimization, you can use Wikipedia to optimize these, well, yeah, this entity thingy. Why Wikipedia? Because again, these search guys, search AI searches, and Google search itself is kind of a bit biased on Wikipedia for the structure of the content, right? Wikipedia is a massive knowledge base, and especially how that knowledge is structured, right? So if you would go through, I don't know, whatever Wikipedia page, you can immediately feel that the content on that page is very neatly structured, right? And essentially search engines and AI search use that kind of structure that Wikipedia presents, the knowledge it presents, to go off it and understand whether this entity, this website's kind of structure matches that knowledge base, what Wikipedia has, and its structure, right? And if it does, then it's a plus point for you, since Wikipedia is a highly authoritative source. Well, yeah, for that fact, they're kind of going off of Wikipedia to judge other content on World Wide Web. And well, yeah, semantic.
So in practical terms, what does it mean exactly? Use Wikipedia to optimize.
So let me
should I get my site as a reference on Wikipedia or
No. Let me see if I can find the exactly the thing what I'm talking about. Entity, was it here? Entity. Generative optimization. There it is, found it. If I scroll down here, so this is a massive blog post about entity optimization, and there's a section, there you go. Using Wikipedia to jumpstart your entity-focused SEO campaign. So what this means is that pretty much like search engine, Google search engine and AI search use Wikipedia to understand how a well-structured website and content should look like. Why? Because Wikipedia is highly authoritative, a lot of people trust it, and because of that, the high authority and trust, Wikipedia must have, first of all, really good knowledge, content, and the way it's presented, right? The structure of it, right? So they use that to understand. They kind of use this as a foundation to analyze the structure of certain websites, right? So here, say, sneakers, right? So here on this kind of Wikipedia post, you're going to find, say, yeah, casual wear, right? So there's a keyword, casual wear. So what this means that if you were to target, say, basketball, I don't know, sneakers, stuff like that, then including these kind of keywords, shoes, sports, physical exercise, casual wear, and following kind of this structure over here is going to help you to give context in a way of entity optimization to AI search and search engines, right? Because they're using this Wikipedia structure and its knowledge base to analyze content that's out there. That's how I understand it. I might be wrong again, but this is how I understand it. How entity optimization works. So here's even a kind of massive, if you will, entity SEO template thingy, if you want to check it out. But yeah, if I return to that, I'm spending a lot of time on this. I shouldn't be. But yeah, then semantic headings, I mean, yeah, just kind of a structured way of presenting information once again. Yeah, another thing is, so if we move on, there was this super interesting study about ChatGPT, right? These guys over here, all credit to them. I'm not sure how authoritative this research is, but they found pretty interesting stuff. So what they wanted to understand is pretty much how ChatGPT, well, yeah, from where it finds its results, right? If you type in a certain query, there must be, say, some kind of bias or foundation knowledge for certain queries for ChatGPT. And that's what these guys were trying to find out. And what turns out that ChatGPT is insanely biased on Google Scholar. If you want, I can drop the link to this research in the chat, but that's one really interesting finding that I find that ChatGPT is really biased on Google Scholar, specifically for some kind of factual, science-based queries, right? And what that means is, sorry, not what that means, but how do they evaluate? So what kind of research they should include in their knowledge base is solely based on citations. So the more citations your research has on Google Scholar, the highly more likely that ChatGPT is going to pick it up and use it as its knowledge base to provide answers, right? But then here is this super interesting paradox that, first of all, you can, well, I'm not 100% sure, but you can, in a way, I think, manipulate citations. So there's this one risk, if you will. And the second thing is that this paradox of that there's no new knowledge that's coming out and getting pretty much exposure, right? So there's this paradox of no new productivity, no new growth. Why? Because, I mean, obviously, as time passes, researches, certain papers get more citations, right? So what that means is naturally older research that is 15, 20, even more years old has more citations. So what this implies that for like highly factual scientific queries on ChatGPT, its knowledge base, where it goes off of, is highly cited old research, right? And if you wanted to say, I don't know, find something new or whatever, build some new innovations or get inspired by certain stuff, then it's probably not going to happen through ChatGPT, simply from the fact that its knowledge base is coming from old, highly cited research, right?
So should I write about my SaaS project a research paper, post it in essentially the Google search, get many citations, and then get a lot of traffic from LLMs?
I think it's not that easy on getting Google Scholar. I mean, it's a scientific paper directory. You need to get into certain scientific journals, and for that there's this peer review process where actual researchers and doctors, PhD holders, review your paper, and if it's good, then only you can get it into these journals. And then once you get into these journals, you get access to Google Scholar. So there's no way for you to rig this. But the interesting thing is that ChatGPT is like really highly biased on Google Scholar, especially for works that are highly cited. So there's this paradox of, say, I don't know, there's this genius guy, say Omar, right? Omar releases his PhD in, I don't know, physics. He finds something super crazy, like, I don't know, new black holes, let's imagine, right? And he writes a really good paper about that, and he releases it. And say if you were to ask ChatGPT something really specific about that niche, not directly trying to find that paper, right? Not directly trying to find that paper, but ask something about, I don't know, black holes or whatever that Omar found, it's likely, very likely, that Omar's research is not going to show up. Because ChatGPT, once again, is super biased on citations. Omar needs to get like, I don't know, 2 to 3K citations for ChatGPT to notice his research and use it as knowledge in its answers, right? So that's that. What else? Another interesting thing is how Google is progressing. There is this interesting analysis research on Google search engine, since now a lot of search is moving to AI. It turns out that about 60% of search doesn't end in a click at all. So people search something and 60% of them do not click at all. Why is that?
Crazy.
Is the evolution of SRP, the search engine result page, right? The top results that pop out for you. And what Google has been doing in recent years is they are taking more and more real estate on the top of the search themselves, right? I don't know, if I were to search chair, right? So this is what happens. This is Google. This is what they do, right? So if I were to write a super awesome organic blog post about chairs, like Google literally like spits in my face and says, hey, no, we are gonna do this, right? And all of these guys, obviously these are e-commerce stores mainly, but this is pretty much happening to a lot of keywords and niches, right? If I were to search, I don't know, let me see, headphones. If the same thing happens, okay, it doesn't, but there's a lot of sponsored stuff. But this is essentially how SERP is evolving, right? More and more, for more and more niches, Google is putting these kind of visual results and AI summaries at the top of the search, right? So what that means, for someone trying to rank through organic search and SEO, it's well, yeah, for some keywords and industries, it's more like a spit into your face. Like Google takes up all of the most important real estate that we as SEO experts try to go after for themselves, right? So like, what's the point? I mean, like, they take this real estate for themselves. This is the default page, right? If I wanted to do something, I need to scroll. So they literally like take the default results themselves. That's another thing, and that's well, yeah, pretty much why like 60% of searches do not end in a click at all. Because
I think also the weather news. If you just Google some weather in New York, then you just get straight away the information that you need. And according to Ahrefs and all the other platforms, the weather query is one of the most popular ones. So yeah, I think.
No, for weather, I think it makes sense that, well, Google's obviously aim is to provide results that fulfill your search intent, right? So, I mean, I as a consumer suppose I'm much more glad that I get this result because I immediately get the information I need, right? If I were to dig through some kind of blog post just to get some better information, I mean, yeah, that's a kind of minus point for Google. But
yeah, but that sort of explains why 60%. It could be part of the
also no for sure
part of the statistics.
Exactly. Yeah. Valid point. I hear there's a lot of stuff happening in chat. I think Matthias, you're chatting, right? Or I can check.
Yeah, we have one more Latvian in the chat.
One more Latvian.
Martin Tail.
Okay, got it. Cool. Okay, so let me go on. What else was interesting that we found here? I think I covered all this stuff. And yeah, in one of our previous calls, I think we covered this interesting thingy that there is a way that these guys also wrote a study, a research on how to, well, yeah, manipulate LLMs so that they would kind of promote your product, even if you are you do not have the authority that you need, right, to break into search results. So this is we covered that previously, and here what we found is essentially that if you want to take advantage of Perplexity, then Reddit is the way to do that, since Perplexity as of now seems to be biased towards Reddit. So if you have a good post on Reddit, then it's super highly likely that Perplexity is gonna use something from Reddit as a source to answer a certain query, right? So that's another thing that we found, literally from our own kind of research, going through a bunch of queries on Perplexity and kind of trying to find a pattern in the sources that the Perplexity offers. Yeah, and how to take advantage of that is literally kind of writing a good Reddit post. But the key thing, if you want to get your Reddit post as a source for a certain query, the key thing on your Reddit post is to include the keyword that you want to rank for on Perplexity in the title, and literally kind of have it word by word. That's one strong way, pretty much like I would argue that the core factor for you to get your Reddit post as a source for a certain query on Perplexity. Yeah, that's what we found here. And what else? And yeah, then there's this super interesting YouTube video I guess I can share with you guys.
A few months ago.
Pretty new, 8 days old. Ahrefs went through, kind of analyzed some of the just recently leaked documents, if you will, from Google on how their search works. And what they found that they actually use a lot of data from Chrome. Pretty much, if I open up Chrome and do whatever, like it doesn't matter like where I go and what I use on Chrome, at all times they follow my cursor. They literally know everything and everything I've done on Chrome, and they use that data to improve their search. And that's pretty highly controversial because they Google itself were kind of denying that, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going off this video, denying that in the past. There's also obviously some controversy if you kind of, well, you're kind of like stealing in a way data from other websites. And yeah, I mean, some of you might also know that there's this massive legal battle happening, that there might be a breakup of Google, right? So that's one of the things also that, I mean, Chrome is a massive, insane tool for them to just gather data and make their search even better, right? So there's also that. Yeah.
So in the big picture, if you zoom out a bit, regarding the LLMs and GEO, essentially there's going to be a huge first mover advantage. And if you have done your SEO homework, as you can see, the traditional search will fall by 26%. Right, it's like in a year or maybe a year and a half. So I think we have to get prepared now, and we have to be ready to work with the GEO as fast as possible for our SaaS products. For everyone here, if you have a SaaS product, I think we'll talk about it in, I don't know, 600 days. Everyone's going to talk about it.
Yeah, I completely agree, right? That's obviously the future, and that's where the industry is moving and kind of starting to slowly understand how GEO works and what is it. It's again, as you said, Matthias, first mover advantage. But yeah,
you can literally start building Ahrefs for GEO or something.
Damn, that's actually a good idea. Wow.
Yeah.
Some golden. Oh wow, that's yeah.
I'm putting my bets that it's gonna be a huge thing.
Yeah, that's it from me. That's about AI search, what we found. If you guys want, we can obviously share all of the links to the articles that we found interesting about all of this stuff, and you can go through them on your own. But yeah, Matthias, anything to share on your end?
Yes. All right. So let me share the screen. So one beautiful Saturday, I had some free time. My almost wife was working all day, so I said, okay, let me do something interesting. And I started to build with Cursor because I got really inspired by Chris. Chris builds stuff, so I also wanted to build some stuff.
Props
Do you
to
see my
Chris.
screen?
I don't.
Okay, okay, I understand. Okay, there's some.
Yeah, Chris, Matthias is now hooked on Cursor. He's like shipping like a madman with Cursor now.
All right, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we do.
All right, and the first thing that came to my mind, okay, there are two options. There's huge volume for calculators and converters, all different kind of converters and calculators. And essentially, it was also something that was easy to build, so I could practice my Cursor skills. And then I found this gem, let's say. It's bottleneck calculator with a traffic potential in US 50K, global search volume almost 500K, and keyword difficulty 3, which is extremely easy. In theory, I should just build this calculator, generate some blogs, and I should be fine, right? I should be just generating some traffic and perhaps putting some AdSense on this site. Maybe there's some potential. I don't know, but let's try. I have full Saturday free time. So I started building, and then I started to look at my competitors, what they're doing. Okay, there are some fields, some CPU, GPU. Okay. Then let's buy the domain, and I bought a domain without a C, essentially bottleneck calculator without a C. But I ended up understanding that this whole bottleneck calculator and essentially this whole thing is just a scam, because I understood from one YouTube video that it is pretty much impossible to calculate precisely the PC bottleneck, the percentage, because I didn't know, let's say, shit about it. I don't know what even does a CPU or GPU. I was at that level at a few days ago, but now I know a bit more, and I understand that this calculator is just, it is working. It is working on some formulas. It is giving out a result. For instance, yeah, you can see the bottleneck percentage, 43. Severity is pretty severe. Bottleneck component CPU, and you can see some other results. Bottleneck explanation, power considerations, upgrade recommendations. Essentially, this is not something that you should rely on, and neither you should rely on any of these PC bottleneck calculators, because they're just incorrect. They're super broadly estimated numbers, and so I stopped with the project. But now it's gonna be just for my pure research. I'm gonna do some SEO stuff, what works and what doesn't. I'm just gonna build this domain, and let's see how it works and how much traffic I can get. So essentially, that's pretty much it. I'm not suggesting to build one. If you want to, you can. But I just found this YouTube video, why bottleneck calculators don't work, and essentially it explained that all of these are scam, and you shouldn't be using them. But now I have the list of the 100 most powerful and most popular CPUs and GPUs, and then I have a bunch of metrics on each one of them, and then there are some pretty let's say pretty complicated formulas behind this calculator that are like taking into account different weights of each component and each metric. And there are 3 modes for the purpose: gaming, video editing, graphic design, 3 screen resolutions, and a bunch of GPUs, a bunch of CPUs. Not very user-friendly, but it's okay. So that's pretty much it about this little project. I decided to exploit this gem that I found of 500K. Let's see where we are now. According to Google Search Console, we are in the 67th position at the moment, and we have 2 clicks in the last 7 days. So let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll try some interesting stuff on this domain for this page, and let's see how it goes.
Awesome stuff. So pretty much this is gonna be a pure SEO kind of project for you to try out and see if you can rank it, right?
Yeah, I was planning actually to. I always thought, what is the effect of some gray hat SEO strategies?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying them out, seeing the impact on the domain in the long term, and then yeah.
Okay, awesome. And as from
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for inspiring me.
yeah, he's literally
And yesterday I actually bought the premium in Cursor, so I'm
Okay.
fully in.
fully equipped. Okay, awesome. Cool part of the definitely learned something. Awesome. We should probably make another Cursor community call sometime, Chris, and ship another say cool idea live for these guys here. So that would be really awesome. Yeah, I mean this is pretty much what we wanted to share. Just kind of sum up things. AI search is going to be a massive thing by 2026. It's already gonna do a lot of stuff, take up large market share according to some research now already, and how to take advantage of that. Literally, no, first of all, obviously make good content, and then what we see initially, the structure of the content is gonna matter a lot. Authority is gonna matter a lot, and there, as of now, are some kind of, I would say, even a bit weird ways on how you can try to rank on AI search, right? Either it's through Reddit, use Reddit, have a highly cited Google Scholar paper, or get into highly authoritative review sites, summaries, or alternative sites. Yeah, and well, yeah, then there's the gray hat strategy. We talked about one of the previous calls, community calls, that you can use this kind of specific piece of code to kind of rig the AI search. But I think it's not kind of publicly viable, since the guys on their research, they did it on their local machines. But yeah, this is pretty much it for this call. A short one. Yeah, awesome to have you here, guys. I see that there's something happening in chat. Geo was short way to say localized search. Okay, so I kept ignoring any info about geo. When people said geo search, I thought they meant local search. It might be actually that's still kind of local search in that sense, but like geo is a super new term. If you were to ask, say, chat GPT, literally ask it, what is the term for optimizing your website for search engines, it's gonna answer some. Well, I mean, I can literally like share my screen and see, show you that. It's gonna show something different. So if I open up ChatGPT and ask it, so what is the term for optimizing my website? Oh, sorry for all the typos. Optimizing my website for AI search. Let's see what it says. AI SEO. Okay, that's super weird. Natural language processing. That's also weird. So yeah, it seems that there's like the term is super new, and it seems that the AI search engines themselves have not yet picked up on the term itself. So let's see what Perplexity says. Okay, so Perplexity, yeah, generative engine optimization, geo. So Perplexity has picked up on it.
GEO, yeah.
Yeah. From ChatGPT, I think a few days ago I got an answer that the term is called GEIO. Yeah, so yeah, that's that. Yeah, I thought only GEO, realized, yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for joining the call. Thanks Martin Tail, Omar, Chris, Abdullah, happy to have you here, Mr. Will, Tejas or Tejas, Lightseeker. Thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, stuff like that, what's the image that you dropped here? Thank you, Abdullah. Yeah, SEO VC Geo. So yeah, Geo seems to be kind of the official term for it and evolving. So yeah, please share the doc. Lol. You mean the research thingy that we did? Thank you, Dehas. Yeah, we will share the doc for sure in the chat on the channel. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining. See you in the community. Let's keep shipping. Let's keep building, and see you around.
Bye.
Bye bye.